Hello and welcome to part 2 of the beginning of using alcohol inks and how to use them. Not only can you make the abstract look like you could see right here, which I made, which is absolutely beautiful, or you can draw something. Let's bring it back over here, my camera. I'm hoping you can see the pencil mark, but I drew out a bird and just a simple branch. And that's what we're going to do with the alcohol inks. What I'm first going to do is use masking fluid over the main picture. It's masking fluid that you would use just like in watercolor. Let me show you the bottle. That's masking fluid. And what you do is you put it on your project, and it will not allow the ink that I'm going to use to put around the outside to bleed into our picture. Then we'll let it dry, and then we'll peel off the masking tape and we'll begin working on the bird. So, let me show you how to apply the masking fluid. Just give it a shake. You always will get this. You'll get kind of a gluey-like substance if you haven't used it in a while. And I haven't. So, let me get us a brush now. After we've got our brush, we're just dipped it in, and then I'm spreading it across my project. That I don't want to have any ink touch when I'm doing our background. There we go. I'll continue to do this, that way it doesn't take up your time. Applying this masking fluid on our project, and be right back. Okay, since this is part 2 and a teaching video, another thing that I forgot to mention is you can use markers. Sharpies, by the way, are alcohol-based inks. So you can use Sharpies to come in and line anything that you'd like to line, let's say. Just like that. Isn't that cool? So, you can get Sharpies in very thin lined like that, and it just works beautiful. It's a alcohol-based product. So any Sharpie in any color you can use because it's alcohol. Okay, I had forgotten to tell you about that. Then I wanted to show you how to take your full strength alcohol ink and put them in a bottle so that, and then alcohol with it, so that it's already thinned down, and you can just come in, let's say, and I wanted a little bit of yellow there. I could just drop it in, see? And it actually will make a pretty little circle if I don't move it with anything. So let me show you how to fill one of these bottles and how to do it, because there really isn't a set number of drops per color, because each color varies, and the yellow is a very pale color in the bottle, so it actually took me, I put in half of the original bottle, half of it into here, and then the rest is alcohol. Now I'll be able to use this forever, okay? This too can go on, you know, strong. We still have a little bit left, and I place it in there. Then I take a piece of tape and I write the color, lemon yellow, okay? So let me show you how to do that. It comes with bottles, and if it doesn't, you need to get some bottles, little plastic bottles, okay? And they come with the cap, different colors. Unfortunately, I wish they'd put the colors, you know, more to what the color would be. Anyway, let's mix a color I haven't made yet. Let's see here, because I'm wanting a brown for my tree. So I'm looking, and because I don't have all these mixed yet. What's that one? Yellow. I wonder if there is any browns, or I may have to make a brown. Yeah, oh, there's brown. Okay, there's brown. So what you do is you, when it's brand new, which this is, you have to push down and pull up. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but you can squirt it right out from here after you've taken a bobbin pin and stick it in to for some reason they make you do this. I don't know why, but once you get, then there you go. You know you got your ink when it splatters out on your hand. So you need one of those. Okay, then take your bottle and you're going to put some in here. Now this looks like a very good strong brown, so I'm going to put, you'll see the, just a little bit, but when it's brand new you really got to squeeze the bottle to get the ink out, the alcohol ink. Okay, I'm going to guesstimate, because it's a strong color it looks like, but that's all I'm going to need to put in my bottle, okay? Boom. And that is just straight up brown. Then you want to take your little funnel, take your 99% alcohol, give it a lift, okay. And I think that is plenty. Okay, there. Now you've got your alcohol mixed brown, which will last forever. Okay, you just give it a little shake, you put your lid on. Then the next step is taking your, whatever you want to use to identify what color the bottle is. And in this case, it's brown. So I take a marker, some masking tape, and I just place it around the bottle, just like that. That way you can identify it, okay? And there's one more step, and that is they come with these little stoppers so that your alcohol ink won't spill all over the place when you're not using it. So just slip it on, and then you just take this little needle and the hole goes right in there. Boom. You're great. Okay, so then when you're ready to work and you want some brown, you don't have to go through all this. So I'll be doing all my colors, and this is where we are in our bird. I've got the background I put in, just funky, And there's the bird. I did some lining with the Sharpie. Make sure your lid is tight, by the way. That's important. Okay, so then there's another color that is ready to be used. And of course you have your alcohol in these little bottles so that you can, use it as you're going. Okay, so we got us a little brown. And I was just I'm real curious on the application of this color. So let's give it a whirl. I have a little gold down on my okay, well, I might use a brush in this case. And these little brushes with the little tiny micro brush on it on the end are very fine. And as you see, I need some alcohol to move the brown around. And it's a very light brown, it looks like, so there'll be more than one layer. Just take your brush and just brush it into the places that you wanted your brown. Oh, there we go. That's a little better, isn't it? Little bit brighter. Isn't that neat? You can use a brush too. Isn't that cool? And I want texture, so I'm going to do kind of a dabbing motion. I think I need some, maybe a little bit of black in there. And work your ink into where you masked it off. Now, working on vellum paper instead of the expensive Yupo to play, and have fun and to practice, you can use this vellum paper. The one cautionary thing about it that you might worry at first, because when you put the masking fluid on and it dries and you've done your background and you want to take off your masking fluid, the paper will ripple a little bit. The vellum paper will ripple. So but continue to work because it unripples itself. Must be, I'm going to make that kind of a bumpy. And you put layer upon layer until you get it the way you like it. I want some shadow and darkness through here. You can see how the alcohol pen, when it's touched with the alcohol, reacts. So that's given me that shadow that I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Now you can also shadow with pencil, which I'll show you. Okay, so another instrument is these tiny micro looking, very small. They're for putting on eyelashes. Another tool, another good tip to give you. Let me put the lid on the brown first here so I don't tip it over. These bottles will tip over. It's a very tenuous, type of deal. This is a bowl of alcohol, and I've used it quite a bit, right? I use it to clean my brush to go to a different color. When it gets too murky, then I simply add some more alcohol in there. So you want like a little bowl or something that your paintbrush can sit in like that, so that your brush lives. We don't want the color to get stuck in it and ruin the brush. So it is those are eyelash brushes, by the way. I did not find those on Amazon. I was given those from a friend who does eyelashes. So I was lucky. So you get lucky and get you one of those kind of fine little brushes. If not, I'm sure you can find a very thin, liner brush online. Now, as you see, it bled through because I didn't put any masking tape on. But I can correct that really easy by just dipping my brush in the alcohol and bringing that up. Okay, so now we've learned how to do our bottles. Now this looks like, right, this little palette, look how dry that is. Guess what? It is so cool. With just some alcohol back into it, and some colors maybe you can see, I can reactivate all of these. Just give it a stir, and where the ink was high up and had dried, you can just tap it and bring it down again, and you've reactivated and still have alcohol ink right there, ready to use in your palette. Look how pretty that blue is. Very pretty. Let's mix the pink. I'll show you that. I'm hoping you can see. Those pieces that are on the top edge that dried, just bring your alcohol up into that area and it'll flow down naturally, and you've got your color, which I believe this one was a violet color. Pretty sure that's what I put in the well yesterday, was violet. And see, there we go. We have ink to use either with a brush or with this. You can make cute little circles, if I could get some on my stylus, just by dipping it into some reactivated ink. And you just, you can feed it. And there you go. You got some pretty, just some interesting effects that I can make. I can do all kinds of things to make this beautiful, which I'm going to do. But as you see, the vellum paper gave it, now some people will scrunch their paper up just to get this effect. It gives it some texture. It's not as smooth as this. It has a little bit of a what do you call that, rippling from the masking fluid. But as I added the other ink and colored it and etc., it is flattening out. And you can also just rub your fingers across it, and you can find that it also helps the paper to, regain some flatness. It's also very interesting, though, because it gives you texture. And so my little bird, isn't he cute? I'm going to continue working on them. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you? So you want a little bowl that you have some pure alcohol in to clean your brushes and the end of your stylus or any other, or the end of a paintbrush. You can take your paintbrush, if it has a nice little roundness to it, and come in and drop, and you can make bigger circles. You can come in with maybe some pink there. Maybe you want that. The stylus makes I'm hoping I'm calling it the right thing. This makes smaller ones, and as you've seen, the blue, I need to feed it more because it's not a good color. If I want this more rounder, that's what I do. Okay, and right into my ink so I can go into the blue to help this one out. See that? But you can just make the cutest little things with these, the point of a paintbrush. So look for some of your paintbrushes that you don't use a lot, maybe, and make this something that you like to do. And it helps with texture and prettiness. And if you remember the part 1 video that I showed you, it's right there. Look how beautiful that is. And those are all those cute little dots that I made with the stylus. Aren't they pretty? And then, you know, very abstract, but very, very pretty, I think. Anyway, back to us. All right, I think that's enough of part 2, which is just getting to know what you need to do to get started. Don't forget, when we start, you can work on tile. When I start showing you that, we'll be using this alcohol blending solution. There is what's called a layering solution, but it is gone. It is, I don't know what happens, but it was available and then it's not available really quick. The reason being is I could put a layering solution over the top of this background, let's say, and I could then let that dry and then come and maybe do it a completely different color and different textures, and yet keep the background the same. It won't change. But I can't get my hands on any layering solution because everybody has it already, and they seem to run out of stock quite a bit. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our little our part 2. And like I said, this is all easily fixed to make a branch, and I'll be bringing in different colors and stuff like that, and brightening the bird. Okay, thank you for joining me. If there's any other things that I've forgotten, please mention it in the comment section. That way I know what you'd like to know about alcohol inks. They're just absolutely beautiful. Look at the eye and everything. This also, I put some gold and it shimmers. It's a beautiful medium to work with and a lot of fun. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. That's what helps my channel. I don't ask for money with a tip jar and all that stuff. This all comes out of my pocket for you guys, free. And if you'd like to help my channel, please use the channel with a thumbs up or down, or comment. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber and you would like to learn about alcohol inks. And they do get on your fingers. I burnt my hand, that's why that's there. I need to wear gloves, but I'm out at the moment. You can use just alcohol that you buy over the counter, like the 90%, 70% alcohol, whatever, and clean yourself up. Anyway, can't think of anything else, so this will end part 2, and that'll be all of the information that you need to start making a painting. Yupo paper for permanency. When you want to make something and frame it, you know, that kind of thing, use the expensive stuff. Yupo, only 10 sheets, it was incredible, $38, something like that. Whew. So I'm using vellum paper, which I explained in part 1, right behind this video that you'll see. And I hope I've taught you something. I hope I encourage you to try this medium. It is a lot of fun, and you can make a lot of effects and stuff. This is not perfect, and it's not done, but you can see where it's got that texture on there. I kind of like that. And also, but it's straightened out. It was very much rippled when I took off the masking fluid on the vellum paper. Now that won't happen on the Yupo paper, you know, but for practice and having fun, and even just having some pretty little pieces, you can frame these. I recommend the vellum paper. Hope you have a great day. Hope you learned something. And I will be posting another video again on alcohol inks, and this time maybe using the Yupo paper in making a beautiful painting. Thank you so much for joining. The way you can help my channel, I forgot, is if you've got supplies and stuff that you don't use, you're, bored with them, whatever, send them to me. I could always help. Because everything comes out my pocket, so supplies sent to me would be awesome. And thumbs ups or comments helps the channel grow. And I send out lots of love to everybody. Thank you to all my subscribers, and have a wonderful day. And I hope I taught you something.